Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tellor Dev Call. Today is June 23rd, 2025. And we just finished 2 weeks of Berlin Week. We were at Funding the Commons and then at DAppCon, and now looking forward to the Stable Summit in Cannes. And the guys have been working really hard to get some upgrades going, and let's get started with our update on that. Dan, since you're the main person for this upgrade.
Yeah, Akram's honestly been making more code than me in this with actual fixes, but yeah, we're working on still fixing pagination for reports by reporter. So it's a really big storage, and we're trying to do it without a migration. But, yeah.
All right, Akram.
Yeah, I guess what Dan said, we're working together to help quickly get that fixed out. It's just a getter. There's no state changes really. It's just being able to query micro reports by a reporter in an orderly way. That's it.
Right. Was this supposed to help us with the front end?
Yeah, this was, I think, profitability checks, and I don't know. I guess I don't know what other things. I think Dan probably could speak to.
All right. Tim, you also added some script.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I added a script for manually testing submitting bad attestation evidence, bad attestations. So a script for signing bad attestations, which has a disclaimer at the top. Don't use this because it can be risky, but it allows us to manually make sure that we submit some bad attestations. You make sure that you can submit evidence of it and get slashed. Yeah, I'm also working on some monitoring for attestations myself. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Tim. Guys, be careful. Don't use that script. That is for testing purposes. Spuddy?
Speaking of that script, doing another. I tried to test the upgrade at the end of last week. It kind of like bungled it, so I'm doing it again now, and I'll use that script. We could probably remove that script after we test this upgrade too, if we want to. Well, theoretically. Anyway, other than that, I'm working on monitors, getting the testnet IBC relayer going. I have the tools that I need for that now. They came in the mail. So, yeah.
Awesome. Brian?
So I started from scratch for the bridge page to get this delegate function working, just try to work off a cleaner code base. And signs are pointing to Kepler needing to get layer on some kind of registered Kepler list. But I'm trying to try a different wallet just to kind of compare, see if we ever run into that same issue. And then also just I'm in the interchain Discord to try to troubleshoot and see if there's something else that I'm missing. But other than that, then once I can finally get this thing through, then there's a couple of things on the Explorer that I wanted to clean up. Got some notes on.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. And Kepler is a specific wallet for Cosmos, right?
Right.
Nick?
Yeah, well, on Friday I went to Reserves Conference here in DC.
Monetarium?
Monetarium. I keep saying moratorium, but that's
No.
yeah. Monetarium. It was it was like a moratorium for like half the sessions were like why the dollar is going to collapse. Like you need to get out now. It was like very crypto-esque, which was those are fun conversations to have. But the other one was just like it was a lot of DeFi stuff, like how we're going to go forward. There was like an SEC the head of the DeFi person at the SEC was there. A lot of regulatory talk, and basically like there's like two issues. The main issues with the SEC. It's like first, like what are cryptocurrencies? Like, are they commodities or securities, and what's the difference? Like, how do you pick the difference? Nobody knows. And then the other question is like, if it is a security like Apple stock, is there any regulatory path for trading it on a DeFi platform? Like, what do we have to lock it as? What controls do we have to have? And that's like a little bit embedded in like the stablecoin law, because like a stablecoin is $1 and you lock it and trade it on DeFi. Can we do that with Apple stock? And a lot of people say like, no, there's no way. So like it was like a lot of these discussions back and forth as far as like what that's going to look like, what like it seems like the most likely path forward is going to be they're going to like give entities regulatory permissions, most likely. This is how it works in TradFi. Like you say, like you're a registered exchange, you're a registered, you have to have a compliance broker. So like, will they do like this, you have to have an audit from a registered auditor, and you have to have, be a registered exchange that does KYC and is, make sure that you have some token there. And that's probably what it's going to look like. Whether or not anybody uses it, I don't know.
For the stable coins, though, is the main conversation or discussion about collateral, and how and who certifies it?
Well, stable coins are different. This was more about securities, but the stable coin. So if you guys saw the stable coin, was it the Genius Act or whatever passed? And it looks like that's going to be. It's a thing now, so you can lock it. You cannot offer yield. So like that was a big debate. So like, could a stable coin, like they're all just like they lock up treasuries. It has to be short dated, good treasuries, and then they can give it out to issue a stable coin with that as collateral. A lot of people wanted like stablecoin users would love to like we get the yield from those treasuries, like why don't you pass it on to us? But they made that illegal. There were two issues, like mainly it's like is that it was actually like some of the big stablecoin issues currently don't like that because they get to keep it for themselves, and it also makes it harder because like it would quickly become like a race to the bottom, right? Like everybody would just be issuing full yield. And you would go there. So, but now they're not allowed.
But this only applies to USD or US pegged stable coins.
Yeah, that's what the bill's about. Like they don't talk about liquidity and these other algorithms.
Or other like stable, like if they're pegged to the euro or they're pegged to.
Yeah. These are dollar ones. And then the big question I would see going forward is like, who's going to win? Like what's the payment rails going to look like? Like if you have, like right now we have USDC, USDT, but like other people can issue stable coins now. So like Facebook and Amazon could issue stable coins. Will they? Will they use USDC? I don't know. Will they partner with somebody and issue one, and you have to like use that, and what will that look like going through? We already have like Apple Pay, but it like piggies on other things. So yeah, it's and like will it use DeFi? Like most likely, like if you have an Amazon thing, like I doubt you're gonna have a MetaMask connected to your Amazon account. Like that's never gonna happen. So like it'll just be like, it'll feel exactly the same, but you have to deposit money there first. I don't know.
That would be like a prepaid card, which makes no sense to me. It's like, if you're going to be vouching this money to be spent on Amazon, then I would expect some yield because they're getting prepaid for things that I haven't gotten. But anyway, sounds like an awesome conference. Was it fun?
It was fun. It was a great time seeing people talking TradFi.
In DC.
In DC, and a lot of people too, like, we were talking, a lot of the financial products now have DAOs. This is a trend I see coming, like, like if you have like oh, we're an exchange and we're governed by a DAO. Like I see a lot of those just getting stripped out because like nobody likes DAOs. DAOs are very unpopular at the moment. So
Very
maybe it's
hard
time.
to do.
Maybe it's time to go long DAOs, right? Like you gotta be contrary. You gotta try and find the good stuff. So
Well, they're just hard to run too. It's just
super.
it's not easy to coordinate people and make them vote, or incentivize them to. But yeah, do we have any questions, Ryan?
No questions.
All right. Well, then have a great rest of your week and see you guys next week.
Cool. See you guys.